Joined now by Coach Devine. And Coach, we're normally talking volleyball in the fall, but now we get some volleyball coming up in the winter and the spring for the Crimson Tide. How's everything going?
Great. You're right. It's a different season. Again, this is something that we've never navigated through. So, but we're excited. We're excited to kick off this weekend and have South Carolina come into Foster Auditorium.
And what was your reaction when you heard that there would be some spring matches? Obviously, you knew what it could be in the fall, but now you've got the teams on the schedule starting with South Carolina.
I love coaching. I love being around the team, being in the gym. So the opportunity to be in and doing the things that I love, I was excited. The challenges that were kind of going through my head were, managing our athletes. Both from a mental perspective, but also from a physical perspective, because usually the spring is a time when you are working out the things that you've identified in the fall. And so trying to keep them hungry, keep them going from the fall into the spring, and just making sure that we manage their bodies, because it's a tough grind going and playing. Almost it's going to turn into, 7-8 months.
No doubt about it. And what has changed for your team since we last saw you all on the floor in mid-November?
Well, we're still the expectations of what's important to our team and our culture are still in place. But I think what you're going to see in the spring is that we have certainly emphasized the importance of our block, and we've also emphasized the importance of out-of-system attacking. And I think that those are two things that our girls have really, really taken the time to look at themselves on film and then put into play things in practice that are hopefully going to carry over into the game. And the other part is back on that service line. I think we did a fantastic job in the fall, so we're going to carry that again over into these spring matches. So, still being hungry, showing that grit, that resilience, those expectations that we've always had in our program. We want those to carry through, but we just got to tidy up a few things on our skills, and you're going to see that this spring.
It was really helpful in the fall when we did this. I hope to do it again. Let's just go position by position. Tell us what you have, starting with the setting position.
Of course, we have Riley Fisbeck and Emily Yannick, and I've been so pleased with both of them. They continue to be the quarterbacks in our gym. They've worked hard over the winter break. They were, sending some information, some film, and the things that they were working on when they were back in their home state. So really proud that they took what they learned about themselves in the fall and have done a fantastic job this spring so far. Then the outsides. Right now we have Abby, and we have Kendall, and then we have Kennedy. So three great players that saw a lot of time in the fall. And when we talked about that out-of-system attacking, we recognized that when we were in system, so what that means, Roger, is when we were able to pass the ball to our setter and our setter was able to distribute that ball, we were hitting at about a 400 hitting percentage, which was pretty high. However, when our setter did not touch the ball on the second contact, our hitting went down dramatically for our pins, and that's when it's called out-of-system attacking. So we recognized that in the fall, and so we spent some time putting that into play in our practices. And so what we've seen in our scrimmages, our pins, the three ladies I mentioned, have done a great job of applying the things that are important to being great at out-of-system attacking. And then, of course, you have Aleo in the middle, along with Ali and Chase. And again, they're understanding how important the blocking is. Right now in the fall, we finished off in the conference as number 13 out of 13 in our blocks. So we had to go kind of back to the small details when it came to blocking, and our middles are so important to that scheme for our block. So again, the hard work that they're putting in here in the spring has played off into our scrimmages. So I'm excited to see how they're going to do that come this upcoming weekend. And then we still have some great people that are those littles that run around and they pass the ball so well for us to keep us in system. And then the defense from Madeline and Ashley Shook, and Katie Shook, and Taylor Drapp and Vic Schmer and I feel like I'm missing somebody, but all those four have really again just kind of stepped up a level as to what they know is important for our success, and I believe that they've grown in their mental approach of, I'm going to do whatever I can to keep that ball alive for us. So some good things, really good things.
And getting to play in the winter and the spring, how helpful is it for the freshmen who in the fall were just getting used to college volleyball and then would have a long time without a competitive match against another team? How helpful will these matches be to them?
Well, it's a different year. We know that we're still, oh my gosh, we're still trying to work towards getting better, and what they learned about themselves as players and individuals in the fall, I think it just from those experiences, from those, those growing moments, the highs and the lows, they're going to be able to come in here into the spring and go, okay, this was one version of me. I'm going to be a different version of myself. I feel more confident. I understand what the system is here at Alabama. I know what's expected of me. I know what my role is. So I believe that all the things that they did in the fall are going to help them grow and push them to a point this spring, which is going to be better for them and it's going to be better for our team.
Well, and it starts this weekend again with the South Carolina Gamecocks coming to Tuscaloosa. Matches on Friday and Saturday as well. Just what can you tell us about South Carolina?
Very successful team. They came off, I believe their last win in the fall season was they beat Florida. So very exciting for them. And again, that's exciting for our conference. Florida's always been at the top of the conference. And so to have that opportunity for them to get a win was I get, again, successful for our conference. They have a standout middle. Her name is, oh my gosh, my mind is Michaela Robinson. She's really aggressive, and they look to her a lot in a lot of their offensive patterns. Right now they have another middle that is leading the conference. Ellie Rubrich is leading the conference in blocks. And then another person to kind of highlight for them would be Riley Whiteside, a freshman outside who just plays fearless. And so we want to make ourselves aware of those three players, but as it's always been, we can do all these scouting reports and we understand what those players do, but when the ball crosses our side of the net, Roger, we got to take care of it.
Certainly do. And again, it starts this weekend against South Carolina as the Crimson Tide not only have South Carolina at home, you have a couple of road trips at Ole Miss, at Arkansas before Mississippi State comes to town in late February. And Coach, as we wrap things up, is there any word on what a postseason might look like for volleyball, whether it's in the SEC or the NCAA level?
You're going to see a lot of games. We got to be flexible with how we approach it. But here at Alabama, with the protocols for COVID, our girls have really, they understand that they want to play volleyball. They wanted to play this spring, and so they're doing whatever they can to make sure that they are safe and making our team safe. So we're just looking forward to playing some great volleyball, representing our university, and doing our best to get better. So it's a different spring for us, but one that's going to still be exciting.
Well, Coach, we can't wait. Again, hopefully fans will be able to watch coming up this weekend inside Foster Auditorium, the Crimson Tide and the Gamecocks. Best of luck and Roll Tide. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Roger. Roll Tide.